I witnessed the attack from the rooftop of my building in the East Village. Heard the North Tower had been struck by a plane. I imagined it was an accident. That's something that certainly made me feel that I had to find a way to respond to that. And I think a writer would write, a poet would compose something. For me, my tools as an architect led me to think about what could you do here. And my initial thinking about a memorial was actually something that would be located in the Hudson River, because this was a 6-story high pile of rubble, on fire with bodies being pulled out of it. So it was hard to conceive of what this place would be in the immediate aftermath. It just changed something in me. It changed my relationship to New York. It made me, even though I'd been living here for 3 years, it made me a New Yorker for the first time. And it gave me a sense of community, that we were not facing the horrors that we had witnessed alone. They hoped to sow fear. They hoped to sow division. And how we responded was the opposite of that. I think this country was never more united than it was after that attack. And so I wanted to bring some of that into this design. And so what you see here is essentially a public space at grade, connected to the streets and sidewalks and to the neighborhood around us, that invites people here as visitors to the memorial, but also people who live in this neighborhood, walk through here on their way from home to work or to shop. People that work in these office towers are welcome to come down here. They are just like the people who are commemorated here. They went to work that day. And to me, it was important to bring all of those groups of people together to this site and to make it, a living part of New York City, part of the urban fabric. One of the drivers of the design was to commemorate loss, to mark absence, and to find a way to do that was powerful and emotional, make that loss visible, persistent, and over time, it does not go away, right? These empty spaces will remain empty. Despite all this water that flows into them, they will always be empty vessels on some level. And so it's important to create a space that you could walk up to the edge of that, but not enter. And I think walking up to the edge of each pool, encountering the hundreds of names around each pool, is at the heart of the experience of visiting this memorial. When we started this process, I don't think it was intentional in any way, but we had not thought about the impact of 9/11 illnesses on thousands and thousands of people. And over 1,000 people have already died of 9/11 related illnesses. And so there was no recognition of that terrible toll anywhere on the memorial. How do you acknowledge an ongoing and unfolding tragedy that's happening right now that a lot of people feel that they're struggling with alone or just with their family? So we were able to change the memorial, to add this memorial glade over here. It was an open area where it's actually, you can be underneath the open sky, and to create these large monoliths that kind of come out of the ground and are a testament to sort of the character of so many of the people who have been affected by this illness. These monoliths seem sort of bruised and battered but strong, and they're sort of woven together with steel that was salvaged from the World Trade Center site. And they create another place on the memorial that speaks to this other constituency that was not addressed. We didn't anticipate it, and to be able to correct that shortcoming I'm very grateful for that opportunity. We build our cities and they build us in turn. That simple thing of creating a place, a public place for people to come together, to support one another, to respond as a community. I learned that at Georgia Tech, as an architecture student years ago. I had remarkable professors like Doug Allen who really instilled the value, the importance of public space in me. And I think it was so important to make this part of New York, to not say, this is something that you only go and visit once in a lifetime and then it's never part of your life again. This has to be part of the lived experience of people. It has to keep it in our day-to-day lives.